Motion to approve the minutes from January 24th meeting, please.
Motion?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Albanese.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Yes.
Councilman Ambrosino.
Yes.
Councilwoman Crate.
Yes.
Councilman Menachino.
Yes.
Vice President Zapsik.
Yes.
President DeYoung.
Yes.
Thank you.
We are moving into the consent agenda. Madam
All matters listed under item consent agenda will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. If discussion is desired on any item, this item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
Very good. Resolution 4-1.
Authorize appointment of emergency management coordinator and deputy coordinators.
Councilman Menachino.
Thank you. This resolution appoints Chief of Police Dave Forrester as the Township's Emergency Management Coordinator, along with Joseph Palowitz and Ron Gaskill as Deputy Emergency Management Coordinators. Thank you.
Thank you. 4-2.
Authorize emergency temporary appropriation.
Vice President Zapsik.
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes an emergency temporary appropriation as needed each year prior to the completion of the budget for pension payments. The resolution also incorporates 2 New Jersey Department of Transportation grants for roadway improvement projects. Thank you.
Resolution 4-3.
Authorize temporary 2023 capital budget.
Councilwoman Crate.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes a temporary capital budget needed as part of the ordinance to be introduced this evening for the acquisition of real property for open space. Thank you.
Resolution 4-4.
Authorize grant agreement with Department of Environmental Protection, It Pays to Plug In, New Jersey Electric Vehicle Charging Grant Program, EV-LVL 2022, BRIC 00215.
Councilman Ambrosino.
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes a grant agreement with the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection as part of the It Pays to Plug In program that provides for the installation of electric vehicle charging stations at Windward Beach.
Thank you. Resolution 4-5.
Authorize grant agreement with Department of Environmental Protection, It Pays to Plug In, New Jersey Electric Vehicle Charging Grant Program, EV-LVL 2022, BRIC 0054.
This resolution authorizes a grant agreement with the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection as part of the It Pays to Plug In program that provides the installation of electric vehicle charging stations at Drum Point Sports Complex and the Municipal Building. Resolution 4-6.
Authorize receipt of bids, public safety uniforms.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Thank you, President DeYoung. This resolution authorizes the receipt of bids for public safety uniforms. This contract is being used mainly for clothing for new hires within the police and EMS departments, clothing allowances for the full and part-time emergency medical technicians, and replacement uniforms for all divisions such as police, special emergency response team, EMS, etc.
Thank you. Resolution 4-7.
Authorize receipt of bids, Cedar Bridge Manor Park improvements.
Vice President Zapsik.
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes the receipt of bids for Cedar Bridge Manor Park improvements. The Township finally has all the necessary permits to proceed with this project. The project includes shoreline restoration, specifically riprap stabilization edge with vegetation mulch, much like we did at Bay Harbor Beach. The project also includes a playground, exercise equipment, a kayak launch, walkway, and a bike rack. Thank you.
Resolution 4-8.
Authorize award of bid rear loading refuse collection vehicle.
Councilman Albanese.
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes the award of bid for purchase and delivery of one 14 cubic yard rear loader sanitation collection vehicle to Hunter Jersey Peterbilt in the amount of $237,574. Notices were mailed to 70 bidders. On the bidders list, 7 bidders requested bid packages. 1 bid was received.
Resolution 4-9.
Authorize award of contract roadway improvements to Cherry Quay.
Mayor.
Thank you. This is good news for the residents out in Cherry Quay. I know these roads have been in quite bad shape for some period of time. I've heard over probably the last 5 or 6 years about some of these and the fact that they need to be repaved. So this resolution authorizes an award of contract for roadway improvements to Cherry Quay. to MECO Incorporated of Clarksburg, New Jersey, and that's in the amount of $357,573.50. The project generally consists of the resurfacing of Captain's Drive, Captain's Court, Port Road, Seagoing Road, Boom Lane, Wake Place, Starboard Court, and Bark Road, as well as concrete and drainage improvements as needed. The bid notices were mailed out to 69 bidders from our bidders list, and out of those 69, 12 requested bid packages. Out of those 12, 7 bids were received, and the bids ranged from the low, which is MECO, of $357,573.50, all the way up to a high of $480,817, and the other 5 were all in between that, obviously. So we're asking for the contract to be awarded to MECO for the low bid of $357,573.50. Thank you.
Thank you. 410.
Authorize award of contract roadway improvements to Laurelhurst Phase 3.
Councilman Ambrosino.
Thank you, Council President. This resolution is also for roadway improvement. It authorizes the award of contract for roadway improvements to Laurelhurst Phase 3, to Earl Asphalt Company of Farmingdale, in the amount of $557,613.13. The project consists of general pavement and drainage improvements, as well as curb ramp upgrades and other associated work on Harmony Lane, Bonnie Court, Ellen Drive, Walden Road, Tanglewood Road, Cottage Place, Glen Ridge Court, Orchard Court, Fieldcrest Lane, Wayside Drive, and Green Hill Drive. Bid notices were provided to 69 prospective bidders from our bidders list, and none requested bid packages. 5 bids were received, with prices ranging from $688,376.41 to the low bid of $557,613.13. And I'm sorry, I think that was 9 requested bid packages. Thank you.
Thank you. 411.
Authorize award of contract through Bergen County Cooperative Pricing System Workforce Ready Annual Maintenance and Support.
Councilman Menachino.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the award of contract to SHI International Somerset in the amount of $52,000. SHI International provides a workforce-ready annual maintenance and support used by the EMS for scheduling. This bid is being awarded through the Bergen County Cooperative Pricing System. Thank you.
Thank you. 412.
Authorize award of contracts Affordable Housing Council Pool.
Councilman Albanese.
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes the award of contract for Affordable Housing Council to Aaron M. Bernstein and Associates, Warren, Marlboro Law, Woodbury, Rainwan, Coughlin, and Michello, Island, and Surianen, Edwards, and Nolan, Point Pleasant Beach.
413.
Authorize award of contracts Architectural Services Pool.
Councilwoman Crate.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the award of contracts for architectural services to a pool of professionals, including Barlow, Governell and Associates, Brick, Freytech, Vase and Hopkins and Duffy, Trenton, Robbie Conley Associates, Woodbury Heights, and the Musial Group Architecture, Mountainside. It's a mouthful.
Thank you. 414.
Authorize acceptance of tax assessor certified report in Ajeco Beach Special Assessment.
Councilman Menachino.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the acceptance of a certified report provided by the Township's tax assessor for the Nageco Beach Special Assessment, done as part of the dredge product on Nageco Lagoon. Residents were advised prior to the assessment of the project's cost. A subsequent meeting was held on January 17, 2023, with residents to confirm the assessment amount. Thank you.
415.
Authorize share services agreement with Ocean County fiscal year 2023 prosecutors program.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Thank you, Madam President. This resolution authorizes a shared services agreement with the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office for the township's participation in the Fatal Accident Support Team. This shared service agreement allows for assistance, investigation, and prosecution of fatal accidents, as well as traffic enforcement and education.
Thank you. 416.
Authorize shared service agreement with Ocean County, operation of pump-out boats.
Councilman Ambrosino.
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes a shared services agreement with the County of Ocean for the pump-out program run out of Traders Cove Marina. In this program, the Bay Saver and the Bay Defender, those are the names of the boats, will continue to service the effluent discharge needs of boaters in Brick Township's waters. Thank you.
Thank you. 417.
Authorize supplemental funding request with Department of Environmental Protection Green Acres Program.
Vice President Zapsik.
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes a supplemental funding request in the amount of $1.2 million to the NJDEP Green Acres Program for the acquisition of property for open space on Laurel Avenue. Thank you.
418.
Authorize support for acquisition of property by Ocean County Natural Lands Trust, Block 646, Lot 21.
Mayor.
Thank you. This is an awesome resolution. This resolution supports the acquisition of 25.12 acre parcel located on Laurel Avenue in the Bretton Woods neighborhood that will be acquired for open space. As we said here before, this has been the #1 target of BOSS, which is our Brick Open Space Savers Committee. Right from the beginning, everybody said if we were able to get that one, that would show the success of the actual committee. So we are lucky enough that our #1 target has been able to be obtained and saved for open space. Really town-wide, there's a lot of support, a lot of residents, Save Bretton Woods, some other groups, Save Barnegat Bay, number of different groups that were out there, trying to preserve this piece of property. So the fact that it finally came through is awesome. The total acreage of the property is 31.4 acres, of which 6.33 acres of that will be subdivided from the open space portion to allow for a playground, driveway, and parking lot access. We really are able to help out the schools, the Brick Township schools, with this particular purchase, as well as the playground, which is going to help them out, move their playground. And that's for Osborneville School, which is right off of Drum Point Road. A lot of people didn't realize it was this property goes from Maniloking basically almost all the way on each direction to Drum Point, that whole section. Huge piece of property, 31.4 acres. That is now going to be open space and or a playground. 25.12, just keeping it as the woods, which is something extra special here in Brick Township. So we're just going to continue trying to find other properties. The Brick Open Space Savers meet monthly. They voted on their third round of properties. The next set of the first property that we were able to acquire was off of Drum Point Road. This is off of Drum Point Road as well, the other side. And the next set is also focused in on Drum Point Road again, as well as Princeton Avenue, and also up Maple and Herbertsville. So those letters went out in the mail today. So hopefully we get some more takers of the offers of keeping things as open space. Thank you very much.
Thank you. 419.
Authorize maintenance agreement with County of Ocean, Block 646, Lot 21.
Councilwoman Crete.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the maintenance agreement with Ocean County for the township to accept maintenance and management responsibility for the property on Laurel Avenue.
420.
Authorize new club liquor license, Lakewood Maniquar, Inc.
This resolution authorizes a new club liquor license for Lakewood Manicourt, the German-American Club of Ocean and Monmouth Counties on Duchess Lane. 421.
421A is a cash performance bond release for the Maniloking Road Ale House for Block 109, Lot 11. It's Block 109.11, Lot 2. B is an inspection fund release for Anchor Concrete, Block 1108, Lot 16.
Thank you. 422.
22A, tax collector, tax overpayments for 2023. There are 3.
Thank you. This will end the consent agenda. Can I please have a motion and a second?
Motion.
Second.
Open to council for any questions, comments? Very good. Open to the public for questions or comments on the resolution only. Yes.
Sam Foster, 108 Chico Drive. First, congratulations, just make this quick, on your being appointed to be council president. I haven't been feeling well lately. I got that COVID booster. Now my whole body is sore. I don't know why the boosters are worse than the original one. But anyway, I have a question about the liquor licenses. First question is, how much is a current liquor license going for in Brick? Does anybody have information? Oh,
I think
the
it's
microphone
on.
You can't hear?
I,
Can you hear okay now?
Yeah,
I
the
can hear.
microphone
Okay.
is working.
Yeah,
I might not have
just
been talking into it.
there.
I apologize. Okay.
the last
Yeah.
liquor license that we sold, I believe, was $575,000.
The last distribution was.
The,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
that-
last
that
distribution.
was
Yeah,
distribution
500,000?
license.
Yeah.
That was a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, good, because I've been going to meetings for a while, and I know a while ago was less of that, but that's good. How many liquor licenses does the Township of Brick allow per year to be sold? Unlimited?
We don't have, we have a set number of liquor licenses that we're allowed to have that I believe is determined by population. Is that correct?
In the census, yeah.
Is
In
there
the
a cap on it?
census, and we are topped out. We have no more liquor license to sell.
Okay, and under what circumstances does a restaurant or anybody holding a liquor license have their liquor license revoked or pulled? Is that done by the state, or is that done by the federal ABC, or is that done for the Township of Brick?
I believe it depends on the situation, Mr. Starkey.
Yeah, the township can withhold an approval of renewal on an annual basis. That has to be subject to the ABC, the state review and approval. We can also put restrictions or conditions on it if the circumstances warrant, but ultimately that's also subject to ABC review, state review.
Okay, so if I had to complain about a restaurant, an unsafe situation regarding alcohol, I'm not going to name the restaurant, but they were serving a minor, would I report that to the Township of Brick, or would I report that to the state ABC, or how would that go?
You could, if you report it to the town, we'll pass along to the state what should go to the state.
But
you
ultimately
can
goes
make-
to the state?
You can make the complaint to either one.
Okay.
But if it's a state issue, we'll send it to them.
Okay, yeah, because I was in a restaurant, and they were serving a minor, and they're also serving someone who's intoxicated, and a woman there got in an argument with the manager, but, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from public on the resolutions only? Yes, ma'am?
Nan Call, 18 Greenbrier Boulevard. I find a lot of problems with this agenda never meeting the advised format for rules of order. And it starts with asking for somebody to make a motion to approve accepting the minutes. The first thing you should ask is, does anybody have any corrections or additions needed for the minutes? Second of all, minutes don't need a motion to approve them. They need a motion to accept them for filing, because that's basically all that's done. You don't act on them. That starts it. Oddly enough, within the past 2 weeks, somebody sent me 2 strips of paper that looked like it was cut off from the bottom of an agenda like this, saying that the Brick Township Board of Adjustment or Planning Board, I'm not sure which, that the way they do it is they put down the address and the block and lot, which is what I started out asking for a couple of years ago. And you continue to refuse to give us, the people, what we can convert to knowledge of where you're doing it. So I have a problem about all these block and lots that do not have an address. I'd like you to tell me the addresses of them. Oh, you want to wait till I finish?
It's
So you
public-
can formulate what you're going to tell me? Oh,
Public
okay.
comment.
A bologna sandwich, that's what you're gearing up for. So, not going to get the block and lot. The liquor license, I'm going to make a comment that I think it's outrageous, and it's been so since I've came, that liquor licenses are so expensive. I wonder, when we get to what I read on the patch this week, the weed, cannabis, whatever you want to call it, are they going to be $575,000 for everyone who wants to have a license for that? Maybe you do need a little education. I am a product of grandparents that came over from Ireland, where the pub was this, the meeting place to discuss civic affairs. And my one grandfather, my paternal grandfather, with his pension from the Pennsylvania Railroad, which was the one for all of the public transportation in New York until they separated it into different entities. And he put his pension money into buying a neighborhood bar and grill, which was actually, it wasn't a functioning one. He made it one. And in a bar and grill in New York, that is the same as a restaurant. It is not, it's strictly a bar or a pub. It allows even little children to come in because it is where families could come to eat. And licenses have never been as outrageous. If you ever saw the Catered Affair, not sure which of a couple of famous old-time people started it, whether it was Jackie Gleason or another one built very much like him. The Catered Affair had to do with the fact that this was the first time people were having big banquet functions. But it also referenced that when Prohibition was on, there was one place people could go, well, men could go and drink alcohol. It was in the drugstore because it was a medicine. So the pharmacies would have a license and they could dispense it, and men all gathered there, discussed the affairs of the day, the affairs of the government, and could drink to their heart's content. Cannabis has, I believe, and I don't have facts to support it, but I do believe it has some legitimate medical properties or therapeutic use. And like liquor, it ought to be controlled with the FDA. I doubt that you're ever going to give me all of what I want. You never do. Don't give anybody. Thought this was to inform us of what you're doing and why you're voting the way you're voting. But no, that never comes out. You apparently have some deep, dark, secret meetings at which you make your decisions.
Anyone else from public? Mr. Finelli?
Good evening. Item 13, architectural services pool. Is that the complete list of architects?
Yes.
Yes,
I didn't see Netta on there.
that's because they're not on there.
So we're not, they're out?
This is the pool.
Okay. I guess you don't want to tell me why they're out.
We certified the pool based on their submission package. That's why we go with the pool. We don't pick and choose.
Okay. Just curious. Thank you. All the rest of my questions have to do with the Brenton Woods thing, so I'll ask them all at once. First question, who are we buying the property from, the builder or the church?
D.R. Horton, the builder, developer.
The developer?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Developer.
Right. They're the contract purchaser of the property.
Yeah.
They own it right now?
No, they're the contract purchaser. We are acquiring the rights through them to the property. The church will also have to sign off on it.
So they didn't buy the property from the church yet because they didn't get permits to build the property?
Correct. They're under contract to buy it. They have not closed on the property yet.
So then we're buying it from the church?
The church will have to sign off on it. We're buying their rights from D.R. Horton.
Okay, just curious. If I read all that legalese and I don't understand half of it, you're bonding $1.8 million, correct?
A little less, 1.7 something.
No, it says 1.8. The 1.7 is what you're paying for the property, 1,710,000, but you're bonding 1.8.
Correct.
90,000 being to do other things.
No, it's related to costs of the.
All the other fees that were in there?
Right.
Okay, got that part. Now, you're also looking for $1.2 million from Green Acres. Is that part of the 1.8? If you get the 1.2 million, the 1.8 is going to be less?
It's a reimbursement grant, yes, it will be
Okay.
received later.
But I also read, and this is the part that's kind of sticking here, if you don't get the 1.2 million before you bond it, then you're going to borrow the 1.8 million, then the 1.2 million is going to be used to pay off the bond over the next 40 years?
I can tell you, it's likely we will not be getting the 1.2 before the closing, which is why we need to bond for the 1.8. It's a
Okay.
reimbursement grant.
And you're bonding this for 40 years? Why so long? That seems like,
That's common with land acquisitions, just because you're allowed to have a 40-year bond because the land doesn't deteriorate like roadways or vehicles do.
but what you're doing is you're carrying that debt for the next 40 years. We'll
bond
all
debt.
be in the ground, and they'll still be paying off that.
That's correct, right.
Okay, the next question. The playground that's being built, is that a public playground or a playground for Osborne School?
Public.
It's public.
It's public, so the public can use it?
Right.
But we mentioned you were doing it for the school, that's why I'm asking.
Public can use it.
Public use it.
Public open space funds.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's-
there'll be access to the park other than going to the school property?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because my question was, the next one was going to be, has anybody guaranteed you that the school's going to be there in the next 3 to 5 years?
The playground will be.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, my last question is, what is ad valorem taxes? That's Section 8. Section 8, it's a good thing. Going through all that legalese, it says, blah, 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 we can do ad valorem taxes.
You know, I'm not a tax expert. I believe those are property taxes, but I'm not positive.
Okay, that's in Section 8 of the bond thing. Could somebody get me an answer to what that means? I mean,
Yeah, what Section 8 says is that the township is and this is for the bonding company and for the, for the sale of the bonds, the buyers want to make sure the bonds are going to be paid. So the township is committing as part of this bond that it will levy taxes, property taxes, and it will collect them for the life of the bond, because the bond payments will depend in part on the property taxes that are collected, and that's the part of the security for the bond.
Okay, is there a reason that you can't wait to see if you get the $1.2 million grant before you borrow the $1.8 million with the bonding?
Yes, because we can't close on the property. It's a reimbursement grant from Green Acres. They don't advance money for closings typically. They reimburse after the acquisition is done. So if we want this property, the answer is yes, we'll need to bond for 1.8.
They don't give it up front.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else from public on the resolutions only? Seeing none, close public. Roll call.
Councilman Albanese?
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontoriero?
Yes.
Councilman Ambrosino?
I vote yes.
Councilwoman Crate?
Yes.
Councilman Menachino?
Yes.
Vice President Zapsik?
Yes.
President DeYoung?
Yes.
Thank you.
Moving on to Bill Resolution 420.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Computer bill resolution in the amount of $2,890,354.99.
May I have a motion and a second?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Open to council. Close council. Open to public for questions on the computer bill resolution only. Seeing none, close computer bill resolution. Roll call.
Councilman Albanese.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Yes.
Councilman Ambrosino.
Yes.
Councilwoman Crate.
Yes.
Councilman Menachino.
Abstain, Teamsters, and yes to the rest.
Vice President Zapcic.
Yes.
President DeYoung.
Yes. Resolution 421, Bill Resolution Manual 2023.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Manual bill resolution in the amount of $1,982,571.96.
May I have a motion and a second?
Motion.
Second.
Open to council. Seeing none, close council. Open to public on the manual bill resolution only. Close public. Roll call.
Councilman Albanese.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Yes.
Councilman Ambrosino.
Yes.
Councilwoman Crate.
Yes.
Councilman Menachino.
Yes.
Vice President Zapcic.
Yes.
President DeYoung.
Yes. Moving on to 5-1, this is an ordinance on first reading, and there is no public hearing on first hearing. Madam Clerk.
Bond ordinance providing for the acquisition of real property for open space preservation purposes by and in the Township of Brick, in the County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, appropriating $1.8 million therefore, including a grant received or expected to be received from the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection Green Acres Program in the amount of $1,200,000, and authorizing the issuance of $1,800,000 in bonds or notes of the Township to finance the cost thereof.
Mayor.
Thank you. This bond ordinance secures the funds needed to acquire a 31-acre suite on Laurel Avenue in Bretton Woods. Thanks to the participation and support from the Ocean County Natural Lands Trust, the township is now protecting this property from a proposed 59-home subdivision, not only today, but in perpetuity. It will remain open space, which greatly benefits all of the residents of Brick. We are looking forward to working with the Trust for Public Lands on the 6 acres the township is carving out of this project to allow for a small playground and better access to the Osborneville School. This ordinance gives me the opportunity to really take a look at our residents here in Brick and say thank you, because I heard from so many residents that they weren't concerned with the cost as far as preserving the open space. It was more, they didn't really care that they knew their taxes are going to go up because we're going to have to borrow money to buy, to purchase this piece of property, or spend money to buy this piece of property. And it was basically, everybody was like, that's fine. This is for our future. This is for our grandchildren, our grandchildren's grandchildren. This will always be open space, which is awesome. And that's like so different than I feel like the rest of the United States or the rest of the state of New Jersey for sure. Everybody else seems to be like a me. Everything's about me first. Oh, it's going to cost me money. I don't want it. And this is like just a really special time to be a mayor when you're hearing from people that they actually care about not themselves and not the extra money that may be taken out of their pocket, but they're concerned about what's happening down the road, way down the road. For the health of all of us now, and for the health of our, like I said, our grandkids, this is an awesome purchase, and it's going to be open space in perpetuity, which is a great thing. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. May I have a motion and a second, please?
Make that motion.
Second.
We are open to the council on any comments. No comments from council. Roll call, please.
Councilman Albanese.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Yes.
Councilman Ambrosino.
Yes.
Councilwoman Crate.
Yes.
Councilman Menachino.
Yes.
Vice President Zapcic.
Yes.
President DeYoung.
Yes.
Thank you.
We are now on to public comments.
Please note that each person addressing the council during any section of the meeting during which public comment is permitted shall limit his or her remarks to 5 minutes pursuant to Brick Township Administrative Code, Section 2-33B.
Anybody for public? Yes.
Good evening. I'll read my letter dated February 10th to Mayor Ducey, Council President Heather DeYoung, all councilmen and councilwomen, and basically all the residents of Brick. In the news lately, we've heard many cases of bullying and suicide caused by the bullying, and one of those locally here in Ocean County. What is the penalty for bullying both inside and outside of schools? I know the resource officers in the schools are doing a lot of work, but we have heard of fights in the school hallways and on the buses as well. Also, over the last meeting, I was hoping to hear a little bit more about the sports complex. It seems to be so quiet lately. All these is open, but the other buildings do not currently show a vast activity. I sure would like an update. Additionally, although it's the township's money that we start collecting in this tax revenue plan with the complex, can some be used for the middle schools to bus the children, or at least one way to various sports events or other activities? We complain about children sitting on their computers all day and doing very little, but when we have an opportunity to get them into various activities, we make it extremely difficult, particularly on the people who have less money. The higher income people can get their children to activities because they aren't in one household working incomes. They have people who will transport them, or at least one way, but not so well to do people find it impossible to get their children to places, so they just sit at home. There should be a way to work this out with the middle schools for a ride a couple days a week. Now for my normal monthly. The residents of Evergreen Woods, Sutton Village, Greenbrier, Birchwood, Primrose Garden, and workers and students at Town Hall, Brick High, Lanes Mill School, and various other streets surrounding the Garden State Parkway are at risk to early onset of COPD, heart attacks, asthma, autism, and other ailments. 14-foot-high pollution, noise, and safety walls are needed along the Garden State Parkway and in other areas of Brick. The pollution such keeps away from Town Hall, the library, and all these people are at risk. Replanting of brush and trees that were destroyed foolishly and illegally by the New Jersey Turnpike Authority on the Garden State Parkway are a necessity to restore some of the health and well-being of Brick citizens. This is not a cure-all, obviously, but for the destruction they caused by the New Jersey Turnpike Authority commissions, but this will curtail some of the ill effects brought about by the New Jersey Turnpike Authority from the deadly destruction of the environmental environment surrounding the Garden State Parkway. Many studies, both in the U.S. and abroad, prove the ill effects of those tiny particulates being sent through the airways to your lungs from the Garden State Parkway, and may very well cause a bedridden life and premature deaths. With the increased risk of autism, asthma, COPD, cancer, and premature deaths, something needs to be done. The powerful swamp creatures that entrench themselves in the citizen-paid positions in the bureaucracy just want money and prestige for themselves and care not for that they're abusing the citizens basically every day. Every member of the government needs to stand up and speak out against those who harm our residents. An ongoing course of action should be taken immediately. It has been over 10 years since the New Jersey Turnpike Authority Commissions began their assault on the citizens of Brick. The hidden dangers, as detailed in thousands of air pollution studies, are the toxins forced into the lungs of the children and seniors, and although they're not visible, but they are deadly. The mayor and council should stand up, take legal action, and bring the plight of the residents to everyone by speaking of the abuse on every radio talk show they get to go on, in every newspaper article whenever they're interviewed, and basically every gathering they go to, not just, we talk about here, about all the people who go to these events. Everybody goes 3 times, 4 times a month, and nothing about this ever gets said. The council, the mayor, and every citizen-funded position, every funded position, should speak out daily to protect our citizens. Various lawsuits should be filed, and a call to action needs to be addressed by our government officials. Sorry, I didn't say 950 Sylvia Court, John Sluka. Have a good day, and I yield back 45 seconds.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes.
Meetings order, the order of rules, and not just refer to me without a name when you know very well who I am. Nan? I'm sorry. I was just about to say, I am Nan Carl, 18 Greenbrier Boulevard. And I would always repeat it for anyone who didn't hear it, but it's very rare for people, even in the street, that stop me and say, I know you, keep it up. You speak for us, because nobody else is. I can't tell you how disgusted I am with how you do handle these meetings. The first thing that I have to question is, 1, 2, 3, well, we have a full complement. Which one of you represents my needs, my desires? Isn't that what you were elected to do? Even if I didn't vote for any of you? To represent the citizenry and bring our needs, our wants, to the entire citizenry. You have this meeting, and the mayor is so happy that people are saying that they're not worried about the money it costs. Well, let me see. We have a pretty good audience, so they get to know what the mayor said. What about the rest of the thousands of people in this township who pay taxes? Don't they deserve to know, and don't they deserve to be able to hear it and then possibly respond, if not in person, in writing afterwards? Not one of you is doing your due diligence, and it includes everyone except the two over here. You're not representing your citizenry. You're not following the Constitution of New Jersey, the Constitution of the United States of America, or any acceptable rules of engagement. I'd like to know, I happened to find this among some of my papers. This is something I picked up in my early days of attending meetings, when nobody could tell me where Brick Township ended and Lakewood began, or maybe Howell began. And it was by the Chamber of Commerce, which was not something I was familiar with in Brooklyn, New York. We had neighborhood organizations that responded and brought our cares to the governing bodies of the state, city, township. And I have been trying to get a copy. Could you please see that we have copies available in the stands out there, like I got them years ago? They're very outdated, the ones I have. I would suggest that it is more than time to have a town hall meeting at which we, the people, control the meeting. And you, our elected representatives, and here, attend to answer our questions. Oh, you know, I think they do that on 2 channels I watch on television. One is with the U.S. Senate, in which there are hearings on various matters, and the senators ask the question of, like, Elon Musk, or sometimes maybe Bill Gates, it happened, and the citizenry can tune in and hear what the answers are. The other is the House of Representatives, which is a much bigger organization, and unfortunately, they don't have enough meetings that they televise for us to really know what they're doing and why they're doing it. But we don't know what you're doing and why you're doing it, and I would suggest that we start having meetings. We used to have meetings for a caucus that things were discussed in depth. The citizenry had the opportunity to give suggestions or question and get all the facts out. And then the next week we would have the voting meeting, the public meeting. Here you say it's a caucus, public. There is no caucus. The caucus, we wouldn't have to wonder, as I do, about what is the address. Sorry, but I find you really deficient in meetings.
Anybody else? Sir? He's always last.
Good evening. Is it acceptable to use the general comment period for comments on the Bretton Woods ordinance?
Yes, your name and address, please.
I'm Willie DeCamp, I'm President Emeritus and on the Board of Directors of Save Barnegat Bay.
Address, sir?
117 Haynes Road in Toms River.
Thank you.
My message is just to everyone involved, thank you. Thank you to the council for the vote you just took and the anticipated second reading vote. And thank you very much, Mayor Ducey, for your strong leadership on this issue. It really, obviously, really matters that you're so strongly behind this. It was really complicated and tough situation, and thank you, Administrator Bergen. I don't think I've ever made a comment quite like this before, but there's a town employee that I would like to single out, and that is your engineer, Alyssa Cummins, who really...
Please, no applause. I know everybody's happy. We're all happy. It's still a meeting. Thank you.
Who really was very straightforward and who looked after the taxpayers' nickel, but she did it in a way in which not every single person in the room wanted to hear what she had to say, and it was admirable, and I phoned her up and told her that. I think the planning board, of which there's more than one member here tonight, really needs to be thanked. If this meeting goes too long, it won't be as long as any of those planning board meetings. And it seemed like 20 of them, but what was it, 8 or 9? Or enough. It just seemed like it's hard to tell what the developer was doing. They're just dragging it out ad nauseum. So thank you to the planning board. And finally, great big thanks to the amazing people in the neighborhoods around Bretton Woods. I have been working with objectors to developments for over 35 years in almost every town in Ocean County. And I never saw a group of people more fired up than the people sitting over here. And it's inspirational. And they're not grandstanding because you can see they're not rushing to the microphone. One of them may or may not speak in a minute, but they just did it out of passion. And it's really wonderful. And I just want to name a few of them, and apologies to ones I don't, because they're such unsung heroes. Julie Gaffney and Chuck and Vicky Giannakos, and Maricela Gittler and Alan Persaud, and Lauren Pennington and Willie Guzzi and all the others. Thank you. You're inspirational. It's a privilege to work with you. And so thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else from public? Mr. Finelli. Oh, wait. Ma'am, come on.
I'll try to follow the rules. I'm Christina Weaver, 314 Alameda Drive, Brick, New Jersey. When you talk about the cost of preserving Bretton Woods, think about the cost we sustained October 29th, 2012, when the Atlantic Ocean crossed Route 35, crossed into Barnegat Bay underneath what was the drawbridge on Maniloking Road. Maniloking Road feeds from the barrier island. It is a one-lane road. Part of Route 35 is a one-lane evacuation road. So Mayor Ducey explained how Bretton Woods is so large that on one side is Maniloking Road and on the other side is Drum Point Road. What's Drum Point Road? A one-lane evacuation route. So when we're talking about money, we're talking about lives, about people who already live there. And I don't think that it's prudent to put a price on lives the way it has been suggested this evening. That's the only way for people from the end of Drum Point Road to get out and go all the way to Brick Boulevard. And you can look at the maps, and they are available downstairs because I've picked them up, that show the evacuation routes in Brick. We can't keep building if we don't have a way to evacuate the people who are currently living here, to say nothing of the generations to come. Thank you so much for seeing the wisdom of preserving Bretton Woods. And I am really thankful for the people who scooped me up, because I don't live quite over by Bretton Woods. Thank you, Willie.
Anybody else from public? Fine. Oh, ma'am, would you like to say something? No. You first. Ladies first.
Hello, I'm Julie Gaffney, Save Bretton Woods. Part of this wonderful group. Part of this wonderful group.
Your address, please?
637 Ivanhoe Road. Sorry, I'm a little bit nervous. I just want to say thank you to everyone who was involved with facilitating the purchase of this property. Thank you so much. You don't know how much it means to us. We're just thrilled. Save Bretton Woods was out in the streets fighting and at the meetings fighting, and so you knew who we were, but we didn't know how much work you were doing behind the scenes, and I just want to thank everyone who was back there working for us. I appreciate it. We all appreciate it. I'm sure I speak for all of you when you say things like that. We're all just thrilled. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anybody else? Finally.
You know me, I love to take the controversial route.
I know. Absolutely.
Anybody see 12 Angry Men, the old movie with Henry Fonda?
Of course. I was raised right, of course.
You saw it?
Yeah.
I'm Henry Fonda. All right? Henry Fonda. I know this whole Bretton Woods thing is a done deal.
Yes.
And I know everybody feels good about it.
Yes.
However, some things to consider. Right? If those 59 lots were built,
Yes.
what would the generated tax revenue be per year? Any idea?
Gross or net? Gross or net?
What would those houses be taxed? $10,000 average?
Probably roughly, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Times 59, $590,000 a year.
Times the kids are gonna live there.
Times
minus
40
the school
years.
tax.
Times 40 years. That comes out to $23,600,000 in lost tax revenue. So this thing isn't just what it costs the taxpayers to buy the property. This is also talking about $23,600,000 in lost tax revenue that didn't come out.
Gross,
Right?
gross revenue, right.
That's income to the district, so it's not all good, it's all thing. And you're up there like you want to cackle. I mean,
You're entitled to your opinion, sir.
I'm not offering my opinion, I'm just giving you facts. I'm just giving you what it's costing the taxpayers. And I know the mayor said everybody talked to him about what it was a good deal. Well, if you talk to everybody that lived around the area of Bretton Woods, they thought it was a good deal, but nobody came down the other end to talk to people. Secondly, I know everybody wants to voice their opinion, but the last time I looked, Drum Point Road, Manalocan Road, Mandalay Road were two-lane roads, not one-lane roads. And if there's going to be an evacuation out of those areas, and I live there, they're going to go use both lanes and go in one direction. And my son always asks me this question. I don't know if I want to ask it. No, I'm not going to ask it. Huh? Go ahead. All right, he told me. All right? He told me to ask this question. My son asks me this when I talk about these things.
Okay.
He says, I'm just curious. Is it all the people that are fighting to not have the trees cut down and the woods developed, did they do the same thing when their houses were built? Were they worried about the trees when their house is built, or is it the real not in my backyard scenario that we play an awful lot into now? Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, Mr. Finelli. Anybody else? Seeing none, close public. Mrs. Bergen.
Thank you. If I may, I'd like to acknowledge and congratulate our mayor on his nomination as a Superior Court judge. Wherever the road takes you, I know a big part of your heart will remain here with the employees who serve our residents and with the colleagues you have surrounded yourself with in their mission to make Brick Township a better place. This judgeship is an extraordinary honor that go to very few people, and it's no surprise that you are one of the exceptional people selected to serve the judiciary. I've always been proud to stand by your side and have the great honor of helping facilitate programs, services, and fiscally responsible policies that greatly benefit Brick Township residents. Your love for Brick Township is matched only by our love for you. Every day is a gift, and your gift to Brick Township is a legacy that will last for all time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Bergen. Mayor, want to follow that?
Thank you.
Have fun.
Just an update on the sports dome, as asked earlier.
Always the mayor.
They, I don't know if it's based upon what they've seen built now with the Aldi and stuff, with the front half of the property that's owned by somebody else, but in any event, they're going to be submitting very shortly another application to the planning board to make some changes to their original plans. So we don't know what they're going to be because we haven't seen them yet, but they're going to be doing that. I talked to the guy Pete Tosca, who we've all met before here, and he still wants to be open by this fall, so we'll see. But that's what they're planning on doing, is submitting another application to the planning board. February 17th, this Friday, there's a ribbon cutting at Crumble at the Brick Plaza, right next to Weight Watchers, Crumble Cookies. So in case you wanted to know where it is, it's right there. 2:25 at 10:45 is the Rudy Awards over at Vets Middle School. That is a kind of cool program. We have a brick recreation program, basketball program for boys and girls. Goes from, I think it's 3rd grade up until high school. And the Rudy Awards it's not like MVPs. It could be an MVP, but it's not necessarily. But it's Rudy. It's named after the Rudy Rudiger from Notre Dame, the movie. Just somebody who tries the hardest every day or has good sportsmanship, that type of thing. It could be the best player. Most of the time, it's not. But if anybody wants to see that, be inspired by kids and up to the age of high school from 3rd grade, 10:45 a.m. March 8th is our senior St. Patrick's Day event at 11:30 out at our senior center on Adamston Road. March 11th is the Ocean County St. Patrick's Day Parade. That's in Seaside Heights, but it is for all of Ocean County. That kicks off at noon down the boulevard in Seaside Heights. March 21st, right here in this room, will be the Mayor's Cup mock trial competition, which is Brick Township High School versus Brick Memorial High School in a mock trial case that they've been working on since September. They went through the county competition, and now they always do a Mayor's Cup as the last event. So that's 6 o'clock on March 21st. So if you want to come out, instead of watching TV, it's more of a play than a trial. So you have to do all the witnesses, so it's all kids, with the exception of the judge, will be our municipal court judge. But the attorneys are kids, the witnesses are kids, all high school kids. And they do an awesome job. So instead of standing in front of a TV set or sitting in front of a TV set, come out here 6 o'clock and watch kind of a free play happen before your eyes. And then March 31st is our Hero Awards. That'll be at Brick Township High School starting at 7 o'clock. If you have anybody who you would like to nominate as a hero, please contact. There's an online form. And if you're not good with online, then you can contact Brandy White at 732-262-1240. 732-262-1240. For those at home, I know there's people here aren't writing it down either, but I know people watch this at home. That's where a lot of people watch the meetings, as opposed to in person. More people watch them on TV and on YouTube. Just wanted to say thank you for those kind comments. It's already hit the press out there, but yes, I was nominated. Normally, attorneys in this stage where I am, it's not really made public yet, but because I'm a mayor, it becomes news. So I have been nominated. I do have to be confirmed, what they call confirmed, by the Senate Judiciary Committee, and then by the full Senate. So so I'm still going through that. I still haven't been seen by the Senate Judiciary Committee. I have some meetings that have to happen to lead up to that point. And then after that happens, if they say yes, then it goes on to the full Senate. So it is definitely in my future, something that I've been wanting to do since I was a law clerk back in '95, '96. So honored and humbled that the governor was, I thought that I was the right person for the job. So it's pretty humbling. So thank you.
Mr. Starkey.
Yes, I'd like to say knowing lawyers who have been through the process, I know the timing is always uncertain of whether when someone becomes a Superior Court judge, but I also know that once the governor makes the nomination, it is the process is moving along. So I'd like to congratulate Mayor Ducey on his nomination and hopefully on his soon-to-be confirmation. And just say I've been sitting here next to you at meetings for over 9 years now with you as mayor, and you appointed me as township attorney, which I appreciate. And I just want to say it's been an honor and a privilege to sit next to you for the 9 years and serve you in the township. So congratulations.
Madam Clerk.
Yes, congratulations to Mayor Ducey on his nomination, and I'm sure he'll do a great job, and everyone's going to miss him around here.
Madam Secretary.
Yeah, I'd like to congratulate you. I will miss you a lot.
Councilman Albanese.
Congratulations, Mayor. I know it's a process, so this is not the last we're going to see of you, so I'll save my sentiments for another time. Congratulations.
Councilwoman Ponterero.
I'm not going to say anything besides congratulations because I worked on my makeup today. So, but I will say to the public the same thing I say to everyone who asks me about John Ducey becoming a judge. There is no one that I would trust more to render a fair and honest decision than my own mayor, John Ducey. So I'm looking forward to that. Second, I want to thank the residents of Brick. The Bretton Woods issue has been something that has brought out the best in our town, I believe. What I was able to see, and understand, maybe you guys don't know, I am cheap. I am so cheap, I squeak when I walk. And so, the price always was a consideration. And what I've explained to people close to me is, this is an investment, period. An investment, the same way that the gentleman who donated his property to the church intended for it to be an investment for the church. We have the very unique opportunity to invest in what makes Brick special and unique, and why so many people want to come to our town, and why my little 3-bedroom ranch would go for almost $500,000 because of what makes Brick special. Keeping the woods and open space in Brick. The way I remember when I used to visit my grandparents, oh my God, over a long time ago, and seeing how much open space was there in comparison to what is here now. I also want to thank the wisdom of our Ocean County commissioners, who also saw the value of this investment through their contribution of, I believe, $7.1 million. I would have liked them to give us the full amount so we wouldn't have to ask for any additional help. But this investment, we won't see the benefits with our eyes. But our town and the residents of our town will see the benefits for decades to come. So thank you all for your help. That's all. And happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. Councilman Ambrosino.
Thank you, Council President. And I echo Councilwoman Ponterera's comments about the Bretton Woods project. I'd personally like to thank and congratulate our fine Mayor John Ducey on his nomination. I think the town owes you a great debt for what you've given us, and it is our responsibility, those folks here on the town council, and everyone that's been personally inspired to serve because of your fine example, to carry on your tradition of being good fiscal and community stewards for the town of Brick. And that's what we pledge to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilwoman Cree.
Thank you. I want to comment on the Bretton Woods acquisition first and just really send a thank you out to Alyssa Cummins, our mayor, our Ms. Bergen, and to Councilman Menachino, who sat in on all those meetings as well, and actually to thank the residents for your persistence and knowledge of the area and your consistency in coming back each week to really make this possible. So we appreciate that. Thank you. And congratulations on your impending appointment to the mayor. You know, I echo what's been said. I mean, it's a legacy that you'll be leaving behind, but you will be such, you as a judge, as Councilwoman Ponterero said, is just something that I think is something that you'll be wonderful at and well-deserved. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Menachino.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah. Mr. Mayor, congratulations. Well deserved. Good luck to you. Bretton Wood folks, I sat there with you every meeting. You guys are the true heroes. Came out every time. We started in here. We ended up in a bigger forum because of you guys. And really, you guys owe yourself a congratulations and an applause. But you guys are the true heroes, without a doubt. We made a decision, but yes, without you guys backing it, it would have been it might have been a different decision. But you guys stood there every meeting while I sat there. But yeah, you guys did a great job. You should applaud yourself. Okay? Thank you.
Vice President Zapsik.
Thank you, Council President. Like Councilwoman Ponterero, there's not much I'm going to be able to say and keep my composure. So I will keep it light and date myself and say, in the immortal words of the comedian Flip Wilson, here come the judge. Congratulations, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. I, too, would just like to congratulate the mayor on his nomination, of course. It is 100% well-deserved. These last 9 years and 2 months I've been able to be up here, and just his temperament and being able to look at all sides of the issue, you know, that will make him a great judge. That's what made him a great mayor. Also, the Ducey poker face that I'm highly jealous of, because you never know what he's thinking. That will also make him a great judge. These last few weeks, I've been to a bunch of different events with him, and, you know, I'm gonna miss my buddy going to all those events, of course. But going to those events just shows you how beloved he is in this town. Just everybody's like, congratulations, congratulations, we are going to miss you because you have done so much for our town. So I just want to thank the mayor. He did what he promised. He is making Brick better. And us up here, that is our legacy that we are left to continue making Brick better. So with that, thank you, Mayor. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. And our next council meeting is February 28th in this room at 7 o'clock. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.